Hello guys, welcome sa third episode ng ating podcast, U1 Podcast. I'm your host, Christian Ancheta. And guys, yung mga kasama ko, introduce yourselves naman.
I'm Miguel Agno. You can also call me Migs.
I'm Danilo de la Cruz. You can call me Danilo.
I'm Charmaine CAGUIOA. You can call me Charm.
I'm AYESHA SANTOS.
I'm Kyle Andre Carlos. You can call me Kyle.
Okay, so first things first. Ang ating pag-uusapan na topic today or topics is all about ethics, anonymity, and personal identity in the wide world. So meron tayong 3 subtopics na pag-uusapan, pero let's just start with the first one, which is with regards to internet trolls. So I would be reading this article from Forbes titled "Trolls Continue to be a Problem on Social Media." So like mythical beasts that seem to be unstoppable, trolls continue to plague social media. This isn't a new course. Long before Facebook existed, trolls were the scourge of the Usenet news groups, web-based forums, and message boards. Even in the 2020, trolls continued to be a problem. We have been there. Someone posts something and someone comments that instead of being a constructive or contributing to the debate, simply responds in a way that is anything but productive reasoning, and high-level discord only exacerbate the situation. So in the end, a post is hijacked. Sadly, the current political climate, made worse by the recent events and ongoing pandemic, has these occurrences feel even worse. The question is whether trolls were given a video game-esque power-up in the recent weeks. So it's difficult to measure whether trolls during the crisis are worse than others, but after seeing a lot of troll activity and misinformation, the pandemic likely makes it worse because of the increased levels of uncertainty creates these kinds of environments that trolls take advantage of. So with that being said, I think we mag-share tayo ng mga opinions natin or stories with regards to internet trolls. At saka I think mag-uumpisa sa akin, prevalent tong internet trolls. Katulad nga sinabi dito, most likely sa social media such as Facebook, Twitter, etc. na parang hindi talaga to clear individual or talaga makikita mo na ginawa lang tong account na to for a specific negative purpose to bash or 'di ba, to defame other individuals through the internet. Makikita niyo to ngayon sa kahit sa mga news articles lang lumalabas, lalo na ngayon malapit ng election. And actually ayun yung pinaka main concept or parang target ng mga internet trolls yung sa social media. Pero actually meron ding subgenre ng mga internet trolls such as yung sa, for example, sabihin natin sa App Store, di ba, pag mag-boycott siya or something, gagawa ng maraming negative reviews para bumaba yung rating ng isang app, or kahit dun sa product sa Shopee and other e-commerce sites. So makikita nga natin na hindi lang yung sa social media prevalent ng mga trolls, kundi meron ding mga ibang sector sa internet na nakaka-apekto sa internet trolls. So I guess para lang sa akin, dapat hindi lang para ma-stigmatize na pagsabong internet trolls, social media automatic to, kundi dapat tignan talaga yung buong spectrum at saka yung mga ibang sectors na naapektuhan ng mga internet trolls. So yun lang naman yung sa akin with regards sa internet trolls. Mr. Agno, ikaw, anong sa tingin mo with regards to internet trolls?
I think internet trolls really like to feed off on attention. So if they say something negative opposed to what everyone is saying, they will feed off of that and create more trigger for people to look at you, but no one knows who you are. So people will use this anonymity to keep creating more negativity around the conversation, such as YouTube comments or Twitter, you've seen how toxic this comment sections can be, and there are also these types of internet trolls that will always try to defame you, which mostly targets against for say streamers or popular people such as celebrities, and this can lead to a very, how do I say this, this can lead to many factors such as suicidal due to the malicious comments that is being hit towards them. And because of this, people who thinks that being negative is a way of fun, a way of hobby, they will continue to keep feeding off of that negativity until no one is, I call this. So yeah, that's all. That's my thoughts for the internet trolls. So on to the next one.
Yeah, next naman siguro si Miss Caguioa. Si Mr. De La Cruz pala muna, sorry.
Okay, aside from what AGNO said, aside from being a hobby or for their own amusement, meron rin mga trolls, like paid trolls for politically motivated acts. So, mga paid trolls to, so they're being paid to troll someone or to defend their own agendas. So, medyo serious rin talaga tong mga internet trolls, like being a concerning case in internet or social media platform. So, ang masasabi ko lang naman dito is trolls are really a lot. So, kung para mainto mo to, they really need to revise the law a lot. And medyo kasi medyo complicated case talaga, like tracking someone is a privacy issue to. So mahirap rin talaga matrack tong mga trolls na to. So kung ako lang, strict implementation of creation of account, like verifying lang, and since verification lang naman, sa akin yung propose ko lang naman, hindi rin ako sure kung maayos rin to, pero ang para lang sa akin, para lang ma-decrease lang naman yung mga bot, we can use a lot of verification like IDs or I don't know, basta yun lang yung para sa akin. So yun lang yung opinion ko doon sa bots.
Yeah, I think interesting rin yung nasabi mo kasi na differentiate yung literal na internet trolls lang for fun, tapos yung talaga mga paid trolls na parang ang tawag dito, kakabuhayan na nila yun, yung source of income eh. Tapos agree lang din naman ako with regards dun sa implementation parts eh. Kasi parang may mga laws na hindi pa nasa-set or may mga kulang pa dun sa mga laws. So I think we're going to move on with Miss Caguioa na and her thoughts on internet trolls.
Hello. So, para sa akin, no, I have experience seeing what trolls do. Being in a K-pop fandom, and also right now, since we're nearing elections, are trolls a coincidence? I sometimes don't think that they are just a coincidence. And it's frustrating, no, that sometimes their actions do work. Either way, internet trolls still have to be accountable for the way they cause mass hysteria and misinformation. That's all.
So next, I think Miss Santos, your thoughts on internet trolls.
My take on the topic relies heavily on information and as you have mentioned from the article earlier, how there is an increased troll activity. So very irritating, so to say, because I think it is already common knowledge na social media is mostly used for information and sharing, and such malicious activities with no good intent still exist. Also, I don't think it also gives any benefit, save for the satisfaction of being able to mess with someone online, which is clearly not good and says a lot about the character of that said person. Tsaka 2022 na, I don't get why this is still a course of action for trying to win various discourse and conversations. I think dapat mas may control na and mas bigyan pansin yung pagre-report ng mga troll accounts. Kasi I find them very persistent pa rin after reporting a couple. So, para bang no lesson learned. So, at least, pag stricter implementations yung mga ganito, maagapan agad yung pag-spread ng misinformation. Yun lang.
Yeah, I think naman, very, antawag dito, parang problematic na kahit anong klaseng report na gawin natin sa trolls, gumagawa pa rin sila ng panibagong account. I think, in terms of combating dun sa mga internet trolls nga, more on talaga sa creation ng mga accounts. Katulad nga rin ng sinabi ni Mr. Danilo kanina, yung talaga paggagawa ka dapat may verification para pag nag-report ka ng isang account, na-report yung account na na-block or something na ban, mahirap talaga makarecover or makagawa ng another troll account. So I think ayun talaga yung parang nakikita nating solution dito, maliban pa dun sa actual reporting. So last but not the least, I think si Mr. Carlos naman on internet trolls.
Sa opinion ko, like ayun, sa opinion yung dalawa, I think hindi wala talagang solution other than hindi pansinin yung mga trolls. Kasi ayun nga, kasi ako dati, like, inamin ko, ginagawa ko din talaga siya. For the sake lang na wala lang. Kasi kaya ko lang gawin. And yun lang yung parang like, wala lang naman wala akong magiging, wala din mawawala sa akin. It's just because I'm bored. Parang, so if walang magna-notice sa akin, yun lang talaga yung solution para parang kasi as kung natitrigger yung mga nagko-comment, natitrigger yung mga panalo na yung nagto-troll. So yun lang yung opinion ko. Once mag-comment ka, ayun, talo ka na agad.
So parang as a whole, nakita natin yung current state ng mga internet trolls, mga possibilities on how or bakit sila prevalent, at saka some possible solutions to combat this certain problem in our cyberspace. So moving on to the second topic, I will be reading an article with regards to cyberbullying naman. So this article is named Cyberbullying Hiding Behind the Screen. So, in recent years, the term cyberbullying has become relatively common in the media, often cited as a contributor to several high-profile suicides of young adolescents. A review of literature published on 2010 showed that no articles referenced cyberbullying before 2004, confirming its recent emergence. There is no universally accepted definition. However, the most definitions describe a repeated activity conducted via electronic means with an intent to cause psychological torment. So cyberbullying can take many forms. It can include harassment, insults or threats, spreading rumors, impersonation, outing and trickery, or even exclusion. These activities can be performed via email, instant messaging, text message, social networking sites such as Facebook or Tumblr and other websites. So as defined dito sa article, makikita talaga natin na itong cyberbullying na to, relatively new threat lang to. Sabi nga dito, walang articles na gumagamit ng word na cyberbullying before 2004. So, ang interesting thing sa akin siguro with regards sa cyberbullying is yung definition or parang clear line drawn between using your free speech as an individual in a democratic country or society, and that line drawn across cyberbullying. Kasi meron naman, for example, I would, paano ba to? Yung sa politics ngayon, di ba? Merong mga ginagamit na tactics in terms of sa cyberbullying, sa pagde-defame or something. Pagbibigay ng parang false information or paninira talaga ng tao, medyo kailangan natin talaga ma-set or ma-define clearly para sa mga tao para maintindihan nila kung yung ginagawa ba nila is just saying their opinion or is it really cyberbullying. Kasi I think with regards dito, kung may factual basis naman siya and the words na ginamit nyo are explained sa medium ng internet through comments na parang medyo marespeto naman siya, I think that's just expressing their opinions through facts. Pero pag talaga nagkaka-personalan na, nagkakaroon na ng name calling, tinatawag na ano yung pamilya, tinatawag na ito yung nanay, dahil lang doon sa parang pakikipag-away nila, I think cyberbullying na yun. And then as a whole, I think dapat talaga maintindihan ng tao yung effects ng cyberbullying sa psychology or sa mental health ng isang tao para ma-lessen yung mga gumagawa nito at saka malaman nila na mali yung ginagawa nila. So, I think yun lang naman para sa points ko. Moving on with sa opinion ni Mr. AGNO.
So, this cyberbullying can happen a lot on social media, especially when you're meeting like strangers, like Discord, for example. You'll most likely meet a lot of strangers in different countries, and even if you can call them your social circle of friends, you wouldn't even know that they are even talking behind you. So everything you talk, everything you say, even just saying something personal related, this can all be used against you and can be used as a sort of blackmail. Just like this story that I encountered weeks ago, where a streamer was relatively pranked by his friends by hitting up with a girl, but while having this phone sex, it was all recorded to a video, and their friends can see it. This is where they crossed the boundaries. They didn't respect his privacy, and of course, it creates a lot of distrust. So yeah, that's my view on cyberbullying. Yes, on to the next one.
So moving on sa next, Mr. De La Cruz, your thoughts on this matter?
Okay. For my thoughts naman, cyberbullying is a really complicated case too. So kasi online tayo, we have our own anonymous status. So yung mga tao minsan matatapang kasi they don't you don't know them, like anonymous sila, so they just speak what they're saying. So part of the pros lane yun sa mga cyber bullies. And sa atin naman, what we say is kind of a consequence. So kunyari naman nagsasabi ka kung ano-ano, you can get canceled for that kasi alam niyo naman yung mga cancel culture. So minsan talaga medyo sensitive rin yung mga tao, like you need to know their cultures or etc. So minsan talaga you have to be careful with your choice of words. So minsan kasi yung mga racist, mga sa colors or sa iba-ibang cultures, nagka-clash kasi yan sa internet eh. So minsan that thing can cause cyberbullying. So that can lead to another big thing like depression, suicide, which is not a good thing. Okay, that is a serious case. So ang cause yan primarily is sometimes cyberbullying. So my opinion lang naman is just just ignore the other ones kasi if you feed it, it will grow stronger. It can maybe die out. So sa akin lang naman is just be careful on the internet and wag masyado magpa-apekto sa internet. Yun lang naman.
Oo, dapat naghihinay-hinay tayo sa bardagulan culture dito sa internet. So I think next naman si Miss CAGUIOA with regards sa cyberbullying.
Hi, so my opinion on cyberbullying is that it sometimes gives people this false sense of power since it's done online and not in real life. Yung pagka-anonymous nila, it allows them to get away with what they do. And it's saddening that many people become victims of bullying as well. Aside from making revisions with technology or how should we use social media, I do think that changes start within the classroom or within our houses. I mean, there's a root cause as to why people bully other people, right? I do agree with what the previous person said, that we should be responsible with our freedom of speech. We need to teach each other and ourselves how to be accountable for the way our actions affect other people. That's all.
And next si Miss Santos.
Add and point out ko lang dun sa minention na cancel culture, which became a branch of online shaming and basically cyberbullying at certain cases. I find that now we as a whole tend to bite on a mistake that one creates online kasi. And after the first wave of calling them out, kunwari nagsabi na kung ano yung mali niya, tutuloy pa rin yung issue regardless of the outcome of the first confrontation. Pero sige, let's give the benefit of the doubt na people are just trying to further clarify information or what. Ang nangyayari kasi, nagko-cultivate na ng culture sa social media na nagpe-prevent ng proper and decent exchange of opinions. Tapos, ang nangyayari pa, just like what Christian mentioned, may mga threats pa and invasion of privacy to further cause harm and damage. So, I think now we should clear the line when dealing with different ideas. And I think now we should collectively work together for the benefit of the whole. Hindi yung mag-feeling na mas angat ka with your facts na wala namang basis, kaya makikipag-away ka online.
Yeah, yun talaga yung parang pinaka-driving force with regards sa pakikipag-away sa internet, kasi may parang knowledge yung isa na which is kinokontra naman ng isa. Doon nagkakasimula ng away tapos nagkakaroon na ng cyberbullying. So lastly si Mr. Carlos.
Yung opinion ko naman is meron namang Republic Act of anti-bullying, and relatively new din siya. So yun din. And also ayun nga, people need to learn how to agree to disagree. Wag na mag-personalan pagka nag-clash yung opinions or anything. Kung may facts kayo, edi post nyo na lang yung mga reference and other stuff like that para pero wag naman magdamay-damay ng mga yung nanay, mga ganon, pamilya, mga magte-threaten pa or anything like that. So ayun lang yung sa akin.
Oo nga, maraming ganun eh. Tapos may mga picture pang pinupull out sa comments, makikipag-away. Ginagawang personalan talaga. So that concludes the second topic, which is yung cyberbullying. Last but not the least, we would be tackling identity crisis in the internet, also known as online identity crisis. So dito naman, ako naman, ang aking opinions with regard this is parang since nasa internet ka na nga, pwede mong gawin kahit ano parang yung mga certain personal details pwede mong dayain, parang pwede mong i-manipulate kasi parang wala namang sense ng validation. Pwede mong gawin kahit ano, pwede mong gumawa ka ng profile which is mali naman or misleading. So in terms of sa online identity crisis, I think parang talagang half and half siya kasi since wala namang laws na binibreak ka, wala namang set na mga regulations with regard this, parang kuwan mo yun freedom of expression. Pwede mong gawin kahit ano sa internet. Pero I think nandito na nga tayo sa current day and age na parang ginagamit na itong anonymity para parang through negative or criminal activities or yun nga pangbabash or for example magsisinungaling ka gamit yung profile mo tapos for example gagawa ka ng account ng isang tao which is hindi naman talaga para sa kanya account din gumawa ka lang with the same name tapos yun nga nag-post ka something so in terms of pag lumabas yan sa reality sa society natin magkakaproblema and then ginamit mo yung identity mo through the internet into overall bad use. So I think people should be more more courteous tapos pag-isipan yung mga ginagawa nila paggagawa ng accounts dapat be truthful at saka dapat di ka nakakasira ng ibang tao or nakasakit gamit yung identity mo in the online world. So next, I think si Mr. AGNO, thoughts on identity crisis
yes.
in the internet.
So what you said, I think I've been guilty of this before. When playing in a role-playing game where I pretend to be a female, and yes, it is actually very easy to manipulate. And looking back, it's a very wrong thing to do. And so much further, that there are streamers as well that uses a different kind of identity to mask themselves to impress or entertain their viewers. So sometimes there are good things, sometimes there are bad things regarding to online identity, creating your own identity. So that's all my thoughts are for our
Moving on, si Mr. De La Cruz.
Okay, aside from the Twitch and the streamables, we can also use Instagram, Facebook, and other social media platforms like marami mga taong nag-iiba ng mga mask nila or persona for their games. So kunwari, 'di ba, sa mga Ukraine issues, like they're being very sad and just help them or parang mga ganyang cause. And then sa totoo, like sa behind that, they don't really care. They only care about the fame and the views and the shares. So medyo nakakaano rin naman yun, like may mga kaplastika na nagaganap. So for that thing, minsan sa tao rin yung mga ganyang issue like hindi natin alam kung bakit sila nagagano'n for the profit or for their own amusement or hindi ko rin masasabi, di ako mag-a-assume. So ang masasabi ko lang naman is there are a lot of masks in social media. So ang masasabi ko lang naman is keep it controlled and always know your persona in internet. Yun naman.
Moving on kay Miss CAGUIOA.
For me, I also have an online identity. Up until now, I join online anime communities on Twitter, Discord, and Instagram as well. And I do think that yung mga tao na nami-meet ko along the way online, they see a different side of me compared din sa mga tao na nakikilala ko in real life. And no, I don't think it's being fake. Of course, I too would need to be careful with the information that I share with them. Like, I need to discern which people I should trust. It's not like I'm pretending to be someone else. Other people I've met have also used an online identity, some of which I get to know the real person once na naging close ako with them. And we can agree that having an online identity protects us sometimes. If we're not using our online identity for any malicious intent, I think that having an online identity is fine. That's all.
Yeah, and moving on kay Miss Santos.
Agree lang ako with what Christian said earlier. Although we do have the freedom of expression, we should not toe the line between the rights we have by abusing it through certain actions. So kahit ano pang justification mo, alam mo naman na mali, so wag mo na gawin. Don't be weird online. Yun lang.
Short but sweet. Moving on kay Mr. Carlos as the last one.
Yung sa akin lang naman is ingat lang. Although hindi illegal yung let's just say catfishing. Ayun, yung parang gagawa ka ng sariling mong identity or gagamit ka ng ibang taong identity. It's not really illegal. Illegal lang siya if identity theft, gagamitin mo yung information na yun to commit fraud. Like, bibili ka ng lupa gamit yung pangalan ng ibang tao, ganun. So, ayun lang naman. Morally, ano lang siya. Asshole ka lang talaga kung ganun. So, ayun. Yun lang naman sa akin.
Yeah, sa whole na-discuss naman natin tong identity crisis since maraming mga users, mga accounts na nagagawa. Dapat we should be more responsible with dealing with our personal accounts muna bago natin tingnan yung iba. Tapos I think more sanctions, more regulations with regard this para yung mga crimes na or mga negative effects nito is ma-lessen in the future. So para sa mga iba pang gagamit for the next generations ng internet. So I think that would be the conclusion of the overall podcast episode. This has been Christian, your host. G1, Group 1, thanks you for listening. Goodbye guys. Stay safe. Bye-bye.